Okay.
Good afternoon,
Good
Venerable.
afternoon, Venerable.
Yeah, good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, Ante.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Don't call.
Good
Chàng Huy.
Hello, doctor.
Hello.
Dear doctor.
Still cold, is it? No,
No.
it's already back or not?
It's not so cold. It's spring, actually almost into the summer, but still in the end of spring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now I'm in Baofeng Temple.
Ah, okay. Good.
Yeah. But Xiaoqing she's not here.
I go home.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I think you are well prepared for the presentation, no?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Shall we start?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it is better to start from the sequence of the registration number. No?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me.
Sure. So I'm the last one.
I think me I first.
Okay.
In the folder, I one.
Yeah, but
I 192, I think.
But Bandy, maybe you can give us the host, right? The host, yeah, transfer the host.
Yeah.
I think no need to transfer. We can share. I think.
You
can share, right? Cannot. Okay, cannot.
No, you cannot.
Because he can. Oh, okay.
So Venerable have to give the host to Dr.
I thought if he just mentioned, just share, can do the share. No need to transfer the host. I mean, cannot share, transfer, share. Wait, yeah, cannot.
No, we cannot. We cannot.
Cannot. Last time I think we just share, then we can.
Yeah, I can change the host to the chin. It's
okay. Yeah, I don't know how to change back.
No, you just you can in the participants list there.
Yes, I know.
You open it and you just move your mouse to the person that right on the right, most right. There is a you can see there's three dot. Can you see the three dot? You just
yes.
Yeah. When you're the host, you will have another choice.
There is a box to the make host. You can click that and you can change.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I change the host to the chin.
The first one was okay.
Okay. All have 20 minutes and 15 for the presentation and 5 minutes for the discussion, and all of the others can discuss, can participate for the discussion and ask the questions and give your comments. After 12 minutes, I inform you have 3 minutes, and after 3 minutes, you can conclude the presentation. Okay?
Okay. Okay, shall I start now?
Okay.
Shall I start now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Good afternoon, Venerable and my dear friend, Dharma friend. Okay, today I'm going to present my title from the Sanskrit Rhetoric, SKT 503. Our lecture name is Venerable K. Sirananda. I write wrongly. Sirananda. Okay. My title is The Growth of Rasa from Bharata Muni to Abhinavagutta. Okay, these are the content of my presentation, PPT. I will explain them accordingly. Here is the introduction. Okay, the definition of rasa. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, the rasa literally means juice, essence, or taste. In the classical aesthetic of Indian art, it refers to the aesthetic flavored sentiment, emotional, spiritual, and sensory lyrics experienced by the audience. It often refined as a soul or portrayal of performance arts. Although the concept of rasa is fundamental to many forms of Indian art, dance, music, drama, painting, sculpture, and literature, the interpretation or implementation of a particular rasa differ between different styles and schools. So I want to ask you a question. Do different rasa reflect the life of human through performance arts? Then we will discuss at the end of the lesson. Okay.
Yeah.
Background.
Sometimes.
Okay. The growth of the theory of rasa from Bharata Muni to Abhinavakutta represent the evolution of Indian aesthetic from the strictly dramaturgical framework to a sophisticated metaphysical philosophy of art and literature. This journey reveals the transformation of rasa from dramatic technique to a soul of portrait and art. This paper explores the development of the concept of rasa from the period from Bharata Muni to Abhinavakutta. Chapter 2, the Bharata Muni, established the foundation doctrine of rasa. He is a traditional attribute of authorship of the influential performance art treatise, Natya Shastram, which covers ancient Indian dance, poetics, dramaturgy, and music. In the Natya Shastram, the chapter Rasa Sutra mentioned, rasa is realized through the combination of situation or stimuli. That means it's a setting of character. Then physical reaction and transitory state. They mean the transcend feeling. Then evolve the sthayi bhava, the permanent emotion, which then become the rasa. According to Natya Shastram, aesthetic refers to the emotional, non-translatable aesthetic essence or radish, evolved in the viewer through performance. Bharata Muni initially outlined the 8 primary rasa sentiments, each rasa corresponding to the permanent emotion. So here is the how when the evolve or sthayi bhava, the mean permanent emotion, rasti, for example, passion, then become the shrugara, the erotic or love, or hasa, then become hasya. When the evolve or soka, sorrow, then become the karuna. Likewise, rodha to rautra. For example, when you are fear, bhaya then become the fearful, bhayanaka. If you have the feeling of astonishment, vishmaya, then become a marvelous, then abhuta. This chapter 3, the expansion of rasa by the Bhamaha, Dandi, and Ubbada. After a period of stagnation, the focus shifted to the incorporating rasa into literature. Bhamaha treated rasa as a subordinate element and classified rasa lantern expression, rasa what, as just one of the alankara. Dandi stipulates that the epic poetry as central component must be pervaded by rasa and emotion. And another author, Ubbata, expanded the discussion differentiated between the undeveloped emotion and fully manifested rasa, emphasizing that improper emotion lead to rasa basa, improper rasa. For example, improper emotion, that love that becomes obsessive or arrogant, that is improper. The next chapter, the evolution of rasa. According to Ananda Vardhana, rasa and Darwin, that means suggestion. He initiated a revolution by placing rasa at the heart of aesthetic experience. He argued that rasa is not mildly told, but suggested through the poetic element. He declared that rasa is the soul of portrayal. Structurally, he emphasized that in the great work, one rasa must be predominant and other emotions must serve to amplify it rather than obstruct it. He said that the ultimate poetic charm lies in the implied emotions or idea, likened to the rational echo. He wrote the sound of resonant drawing is the soul or essence, atma of portrayal. For example, when the poet writes, he creates a resonant field of emotion. In order to understand the poetry, the reader or the hearer must be on the same wavelength. That means they have the same frequency. The method requires sensitivity on the part of the writer and the reader. So in the part 5, the Bhattanayaka, the universalization of rasa, he introduced a crucial shift by focusing on the spectator experience. He argued that rasa is not about specific character, for example, Rama or Sita, but rather the elements are removed of their particularity and universalized. He explains how a spectator can enjoy a hero's journey without the feeling personal pain or jealousy. And he further mentioned that Bogakritra, making enjoyment act upon this universalized emotion, allowing the audience to experience it without personal interest, leading to the state of bliss, similar to experience of Brahma. The Bhava Katra, the ability of enjoyment, universalizes the specific character. For example, Rama is no longer just a historical figure, but a universal lover, breaking down the barriers of time and space. Through the Bogakritra, the Sthai Bhava, the permanent emotion, is transformed into rasa, and the mind becomes tranquil and immersed in bliss. It shows the transitional bridge to the Sattva rasa. The part 6, the Abhinavakutta, the final synthesis of rasa. In his commentary, he synthesized the previous interpretation into a complete metaphysical doctrine. He refined the idea of universalization, suggesting that during aesthetic experience, the spectator, I mean the audience, loses their sense of self and the ego resolves, allowing them to relish, delight the Sthai Bhava, I mean the permanent emotion which is transformed into pure bliss. He elevated the Kamatkara, the aesthetic delight or wonder and astonishment, to the heart of rasa theory. It is the raresh rasa of art, which goes beyond the superficial enjoyment to a state of inner absorption. And he further explained the Kamatkara as the transcendent experience. It's the aesthetic delight that arises when the lantern traces vasana are activated, allowing the spectator to experience the state of rest, vishranti, in their own consciousness, free from the personal emotion. Then he further mentioned the mirror of reality. It is the subjective experience of joy that arises when the mind is totally absorbed in the contemplation of beauty, such as poetic and otherwise, which is the reflection of the innate bliss of the self. Then he created the night rasa, Sattva rasa. While Bharatamuni listed the 8 rasa, Abhinavakutta strongly solidified the night rasa. Sattva rasa means peace or tranquility. As the highest form of rasa, represent the culmination of the emotional transcendence. It transcends the worldly attachment, unlike other rasa that might dwell with the desire or conflict. Sattva rasa evokes a feeling of renunciation, detachment, and harmony, offering a path to deeper spiritual reflection. In brief, Sattva rasa is crucial in drama for providing a final state of liberation from instant feeling, aiming to transport the viewer to a state of tranquil, detached bliss, making the dramatic experience a form of spiritual rather than just a sensual engagement. See, they are all together 9 rasa. So from their face expression, you can see there is a different face expression and gradual. So when you are afraid, then your face expression also change. Okay, in summary, I want to show you the process of growth of rasa. The foundation of rasa, Bharata Muni established the rasa as technical and dramaturgical and taste, and then he created 8 rasas. The expansion of rasa, according to the Bamaha Dandi Upata, they consider subordinating rasa to figure of speech, Alankala. The evolution of rasa, according to Ananda Vattana, he established the rasa as suggested, and he suggested the rasa is, and the driving is the soul of portrayal. The conceptualization of rasa, according to Bhatta Nayaka, he created the universalization of emotion. During the synthesis of rasa, according to Abhinavakutta, rasa at Kamatkara, transcendental joy, and he created the Sattva rasa. In conclusion, the process of rasa demonstrates the foundational and development of the doctrine of rasa. Bharata Muni portrayal the experiential feeling, the mundane of
Tim,
human with 8 kinds.
12 minutes.
Okay.
You can,
Yes.
3 minutes more.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
continue.
Okay. That means Bharata Muni portrayal the experiential feeling mundane of human with 8 kinds of rasa in Indian performance art. Abhinavakutta add the 9 rasa, Sattva rasa, to transcend the worldly attachment that, unlike other rasa, that might deal with desire or conflict, anger, jealousy. Okay, Sattva rasa presents a spiritual tranquility and transcendental joy. According to Brahma, ensure that drama is not just a mindless entertainment. It must serve a social and spiritual function. It is described as the mirror of the world, designed to show people the consequences or the result of their actions and guide them toward a balanced life of righteousness, success, and reputation. So, according to the process of the rasa, you can see that they show the event reflect our life and experience. Mirror of the world. That's why they say mirror of the world. Performance capture the real life events, reflecting the world as it is. The performance art with 9 rasa conveys a message of social improvement, teaching us how to resolve negative emotion and create a 9 rasa, Sattva rasa. So here I have 3 questions we want to discuss. What is the reason for Bharata Muni established the 8 rasa? Why is necessary? Okay. The second one, why did Abhinavakutta create the 8 rasa? So, and that last question is it possible to attain 9 rasa through the performance art in modern society? So maybe we can discuss this. Also, maybe I will give you the answer as well. Okay. Thank you for your listening.
Okay, thank you so much for your
Thank you very much.
presentation. And you prepared well your presentation, and your content also so good. Your topic is Rasa Bharata to
Rasa.
Abhinavakutta. Yeah.
Yes.
Growth of rasa from Bharata to Abhinavakutta. Yeah. Okay. And you discussed about the 9th rasas also. No? I did not go to describe so far, but you paid attention to the 9th rasas also. That one also very impressive. And okay, now the others can ask some questions or give you comments about the presentation. If someone have
Or they want to give some question answer for this one. Maybe they have some idea for this question. Because also I have answer, but I'm not sure. So I want to discuss with you all as well.
Actually, I choose the topic of Satara Nigarana. So I will also mention this part that Anu Abhinavagupta about his, but I didn't mention this nice rasa. I think this is very good for also for me to understand the whole picture. Thank you, dear doctor. Yeah.
So have you any answer for this one? What is the reason for Bharata Muni established the 8 rasa? What do you think? Maybe we can discuss. No, this one also I have because according to the Natya Shastra, they also said something right. So what do you think about this? These 3, do you have anything? Maybe you think about the third, Jiang Hui. Is it possible to attend 9 rasa through the performer art in modern society? See, you think it's possible nowadays?
I think it depends on the spectators because sorry, the name. What is the name? Because in my part, I will mention how the Abhinavagupta how he designed the theory and how he designed the theory and the operations so that some kind of people can have that kind of rasa. So maybe in my plantation, I will give you the answer.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I think here I think he said something I didn't wait. Yeah. Here no, I think this one one okay, wait. Yeah. Here I think this one Ananda Vattana said this one. Because that means if I think it's possible to attend the Sattva rasa, maybe I think the performance and the reader or the spectator must have the same wavelength. According to me, I think that this is maybe only in this way they can attend the 9 rasa. I think it's very difficult, not easy, because if they have this one, maybe that's possible.
Yeah. Nowadays, somebody may film the content is about the Buddhism, but artists or the very difficult to give us the nice rasa message. Very difficult.
This depends on spectators and also on the stages.
Yes, the performance, because you know, yes, the performance, because during the Bharata Muni time, because he requested maybe I give the answer. Okay, because according to this Bharata Muni, he said only the sages can perform the performance art. So the sages, I mean, they are very high standard. So if your master is very high standard or the performer is very high standard, so the audience also can receive some kind of feeling, no? That means the tranquility feeling, feeling, right?
Yeah, according to Abhinavagupta, this is also kind of a dependent origination. You have to have that kind of people, and he have something inside him, and that can be cultivated. Then depending on the performer, then that rasa, that nice rasa, can be manifested. So it's all dependent origination. So it can be, but need a lot of conditions.
Yes. Condition. They mean you need a lot of condition, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Very good presentation. The content. Thank you.
Is there any idea?
I think, if no, can I tell what is the reason Bharata Muni established 8 rasa? Because I think maybe people always think because he said that because this he wanted to say that it's the mirror of the life. They mean they will reflect the human life, right? But in fact, in the practical Plato, they also mention imitation of the life of human, true rasa to reflect our soul. Can you see this? Okay,
Yeah.
true rasa to reflect our different emotion experience. In his theory of Plato, mimicry, imitation, said that all art is mimetic by nature. Art is an imitation of life. According to Aristotle, he saw the mimicry, imitation, as a positive, creative, and natural human art that help us understanding life. So maybe, and because they are more ancient than the Bharata Muni, right? So at the Greek philosophy, they already mentioned the imitation of the life of human, because performance art or drama, they do some performance. The performers, they imitate the life of our emotion, right? Venerable, what you think about this? Maybe he follow from here because the ancient time they already mentioned this kind of thing, no?
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah, I think my idea is actually at the Bharata Muni's time, he may identified only 8 human thoughts of our mind, no? And after later rhetoricians understood, identified so many conditions of the human mind. After that,
Yes.
they elaborated. For example, the later rhetoricians explained Vatsala is the another rasa after the 9th one. Vatsala means the connections of the mother with their daughter or son, the loving condition of the mother or father with their son or daughter. That is the Vatsala rasa. And also the bhakti, later Alankarikas explained the bhakti rasa. It is the connection with the devotion.
Yes, the faith,
connection
yeah.
with the gods. That is the another condition of the human mind. No?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Actually, it is good for you. And 9th rasa, you mentioned the 9th one, and actually, Abhinav Gupta is the philosopher, and he believed the Shiva religion, and he connect his idea to introduce the 9th rasa, Shanta rasa. And actually, we can find some example of the drama represented the 9th rasa, Shanta rasa. Some Sanskrit dramas, for example, I don't know whether you know, Nagananda is the famous Sanskrit drama represented the Shanta rasa. And also some poetry, also Ashwaghosa's Buddha Charita, Mahakavya, great, also represented the Shanta rasa. And actually, in modern, we can represent Shanta rasa also through the connecting with religious ideas.
Yes.
For instance, in Sri Lanka, we perform the bhakti songs in Vesak Poede. In Sri Lankans sings bhakti songs, and in the bhakti songs, I think included the Shanta rasa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
But Venerable, what do
Yeah.
you think the Upanishad, the phrase, the Raso Vat Saha? This one, is it maybe also because they mentioned the rasa here, Raso Vai Saha? this word. Usually the rod is rasa, divine taste. So
Divine
supreme bliss.
Divine flame.
So whether it's closely related to spirituality and philosophy.
Yeah.
Because this one, because the rasa, because they also said the rasa is the absolute, no? The atma, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes they also mention it's the absolute.
Yeah. Raso.
Do you think there is some connection?
Yeah, we can connect with that. No? Yeah. Actually, in Shantarasa, when it describes Abhinavagupta, he explains if we become the transcendental level, at that time we feel the full of the Santarasa. That is his final conclusion of the definition of Santarasa is the final level of the feeling rasa is the Shant. Because at that time we have not any feelings of the other laukikas.
Yes, other rasa disappear, no? Because you already know personal interest, they mean disappear for other rasa. But in the Greek philosopher also they mention the katasi also is a little bit like purification, like sattva rasa, right? Little bit like can be obtained through the aesthetic emotion.
Yeah.
Katasi, they mean the purification can be obtained through the aesthetic emotion.
Yeah.
Especially the purification of removal of emotion like pity or fear originate for the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle.
Yeah.
So this one also a little bit similar to the sattva rasa, no? Because they want to remove the other rasa. Then you have this kind of purification, katasi feeling.
Yeah. Actually, it is the similar with the Santarasa, and at the feeling of the full of the Santarasa is a little bit far away from the catharsis.
Oh, that means it's more advanced?
Yeah.
That means Santarasa is more advanced than purification. That means it's more advanced.
Yeah.
That means, okay. That means, but they have some similarity, right? They also like purification. That means they remove the other rasa.
Yeah. But if we feel full of the condition of Santarasa, it is a little bit far away from the catharsis.
So when the Santarasa is higher.
Yeah. As
that means the higher rasa. It's higher rasa. That means it's like this kind. That means it's like absolute of rasa. It's a bit like absolute of rasa. They place the rasa, instructed rasa, in a very high status, no?
Yeah. It is very highest state, and Abhinavagupta elaborated.
So very difficult to attend, no?
Yeah, very.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for your presentation, and we can move next on. Who
is the next one? Yang Hui.
No, not me. I'm maybe I'm the last one.
Already.
I'm the last one.
Yeah.
I think.
Yang Shen.
Okay. I think.
Wait. Okay.
Oh, can you please give me to give me the host, please?
Wait. Yes. Wait.
I should ask Jiang to tell me.
Yeah, I will do for the three of us the sharing the screen.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
I have to put. Okay. Why I made you already? Why didn't show? I make the hoist to you. See, make hoist.
You already?
I make. Yes, I make, but it doesn't come out. See?
No, I'm not. You have to move to my.
Yes, I moved to yours. You already moved to your chain hoist. Okay, already changed.
Oh yes. Now I'm now I am.
Okay.
Can you see the screen?
Okay.
Okay.
Universalization.
Oh, sorry, this is mine. Sorry, wait for me.
So if
Wait, sorry. Sorry.
okay. Okay. Good afternoon, dear Pamde,
Yeah.
everyone. Today we are going to explore one of the richest intellectual traditions in the world, Sanskrit poetics. Specifically, we will be comparing two of its most celebrated series, Rasa and Tuhani. These are not just ancient academic debates, they are profound inquiries into what it means to experience beauty and what poetry actually does to us when it truly moves us. The second one. So what is Sanskrit poetics? Sanskrit poetics known as Alankara Sastra, or the science of ornament, is a body of literary theory developed in ancient and medieval India, roughly from the 2nd century CE all the way to the 14th century. Its scholars were not merely critics. They were philosophers asking a fundamental question: what makes a poem truly beautiful? They weren't satisfied with saying, good poetry sounds nice or good poetry uses clever words. They wanted to go deeper, to identify the essential quality that makes a poem live, breathe, and affect the reader. 8 major series emerged. Each proposed a different answer. Today, we focus on 2 of the most influential. The A series. Here's a quick overview of all 8 series. Each one names what it believes to be the soul of poetry. You will notice they cover a wide range. Some focus on the text itself, its songs, its words, its style. Others focus on the reader's experience. 2 series stand above the rest in historical importance and philosophical depth, Rasa and Tuhani. Let's take them one at a time. That's one. Oh, the theory of Rasa was formulated by the sage Bharata Muni in his monumental work, the Ladya Sastra, a treatise on drama and performance, believed to date from around the 2nd to 3rd century CE. The word rasa literally means taste or flavor. In poetics, it refers to the aesthetic, emotional experience that a poem or performance produces in its audience. Part gives us a precise formula. One of the most quoted sentences in all of Sanskrit literature. Vibhava arupava, vyapicharipava, samyugat rasa nispattihi. Rasa arises from the combination of vibhava, anupava, and vyapicharipava. Let me explain these 3 terms. Vibhava are causes, the external triggers of emotion like moonlight or the memory of loss. Anupava are the consequence. The outward expressions of feeling, tears, a smile, trembling, and vyapicharipava are transitory supporting emotions. The fleeting feeling that color and intensify the main emotion, like anxiety, longing, or confusion. When these 3 elements combine in a poem or performance, they transform the underlying stable emotion, the style power into rasa, a purified aesthetic experience of emotion. That's one. The 8 rasas. Carter identifies 8 primary rasas. Each rasa corresponds to a specific durable emotion. For instance, the rasa called Sringara, the erotic or romantic, arises from the durable emotion of rati, which is love. Kanuna, the perceptive or compassionate rasa, arises from shoga, sorrow. Vira, the heroic, from utsaha, energy and determination. Notice how this is not about the poet's personal feelings. It's about a transformation. The poem takes a universal human emotion and, through artistry, elevates it into the aesthetic experience that the audience can taste, like a flavor without personally suffering. Later scholars add a nice rasa sound, meaning tranquility or peace for Buddhist and Hindu contemplative traditions. This is particularly significant. It suggests that the highest aesthetic experience is one of serene, undisturbed awareness. Rasa in action. To make this concrete, let me tell you the foundational story of how Sanskrit poetry itself was born through rasa. The sage Valmiki is walking through the forest when he witnesses a hunter shoot an arrow, a pair of grandeur cranes. Beautiful birds long to mate for life. The male bird falls, mortally wounded, in front of his grieving mate. Valmiki is struck by an overwhelming wave of compassion, karuna, and in that moment of intense feeling, he spontaneously utters a verse, the very first sloka of Sanskrit poetry. Marisada pratistham dwang agamaha sarasvatihi samaha yad glamchu Vitunad ekang avatihi kama mohitam. O hunter, may you never find peace for eternity, for you have stand one of a pair of clans lost in love. Yeah. Notice how all 3 components are present. The vipava is the dead bird and a weeping maid. The anupava is Valmiki's physical and emotional response. The vyapijari are the feelings of shock, helplessness, the murder or tragedy. Together they produce Kanuna rasa, and Sanskrit literature begins. By the way, this kind of woe is different for the compassion mentioned in Buddhism. According to the spirit of Buddhism, also the hunter has committed evil. One should not with him to never have peace. That's one. The 2, honey. Now let's turn to the second theory, 20, formulated by the scholar Aranda Vartana. In the 9th century CE, in his work, the Twanyaloka, which means the light of Twani. The word Twani literally means sound resonance or echo. In poetics, it refers to the power of suggestion, the ability of words to convey a meaning that goes beyond or is different from their literal sense. Alexander argued the great poetry works on 3 levels of meaning. Simultaneously, the first is apita, the direct literal meaning. The second is lakshana, the indicated or secondary meaning. What words point toward rather than say directly. The third and most important is vyanjana, the suggested meaning. This is the dhvani. It is what the poem implies, resonates, whispers without ever stating it outright. Okay, what's wrong? The 3 types of dhvani. Alexander classifies dhvani into 3 types based on what is being suggested. The first and highest type is rasa dhvani, where the suggested content is an emotion, a rasa. This is considered the pinnacle of poetic achievement. The second type is alankara dhvani, where what is suggested is a figure of speech, a metaphor, a similar, an irony that is not stated but implied. The third type is vastu dhvani, where the suggestion carries an ideal, a moral, or a hidden message. Let me give you a classic example of rasa dhvani. Consider a simple verse. A woman sits alone. The lamps are lit. No one comes. On a literal level, it's just a description, but what it suggests through the image, the silence, the waiting, is the unbearable pain of separation from a beloved. That is vibra lampa srikana. The erratic rasa is expressed through longing and absence. The emotion is never land. It is felt through the resonance of the image. That resonance is dhvani. Similarly, that's one. Similarly, this Chinese poem expresses a sense of separation and sorrow, as well as the son's deep longing for his mother. However, it does not present these feelings directly on the surface. Instead, it implies them through a bowl of rice fried with oil and salt as a medium. The bowl of oil, salt, rice. The day before yesterday, I came home from school. In a pot, a bowl of rice with oil and salt. Yesterday, I came home from school. No bowl of rice with oil and salt in the pot. Today, I came home from school. I fried a bowl of rice with oil and salt and sat before my mother's grave. Okay, this is a Chinese modern poem. Yeah, that's one. Rasa and dhvani side by side. Now let's put the 2 series side by side. Both rasa and dhvani are concerned with the depths of poetic experience, but they approach it differently.
She mentioned 13 minutes completed, then
Okay.
you can continue.
Let's focus on what the audience feels the emotional experience produced in a listener or reader. The mechanism is addictive. 3 components combine to produce a transformed or satisfied emotion. The beauty lies in what is felt. Dhvani focus on what the text suggests, the layers of meaning embedded in language, especially the unsaid. The mechanism is subtractive. Great poetry deliberately withholds, implies, and leaves the most important thing unstated. The beauty lies in what is not said. One may say Rasa is the distillation, the 20 is the pathway, or Rasa describes what happens in the reader. 20 describes how the poem creates that happen. That's one. Are these two theories in conflict? At first, it may seem so. One concenters the audience, the other centers the text, but Anandadvaratana himself resolves this apparent tension with a brilliant move. He places Rasa 20, the station of emotion, at the very top of his capture of 20. In other words, the best canvas stretching is a stretching of Rasa. The highest form of 20 is precisely what produces the Rasa experience. The two theories don't contradict, they converse. That's one. Legacy. Okay.
15 minutes.
Okay. I will give a conclusion. I'll give a conclusion. Let me close with two scriptural passages that echo the insights of Rasa and 20, drawn from ancient Indian wisdom texts. The first is from the Taittiriya Upanishad. He is Rasa itself. Having obtained Rasa, one becomes blissful. This passage, originally speaking of Brahman, the ultimate reality, used the very word Rasa to describe the experience of union with the Absolute. The Sanskrit ascetics were not being merely metaphorical. When they said Rasa was not divine bliss, they were pointing to a deep connection between ascetic experience and spiritual awakening. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your presentation, and you also well prepared and organized your slides also. Okay, now it's time for the discussion. Is there anyone who has some questions or comments?
蒋慧可以问问题。
我
你
问
问，哎，
so yeah, you give us the example of the Chinese poem. So can you give us more explanation on why you choose this poem as an example?
Oh yeah, because this poem also is not only Indian poem, but it gives us a very good similar about 20, because the one meaning, very important meaning, didn't express word by word in the poem, but outside the word, we can know what happened. Yeah, this Chinese poem expresses a sense of separation and sorrow. Yeah, as well as the son's deep longing for his mother. However, it does not present these feelings directly on the surface. Yeah, instead it implies them through a bowl of rice fried with oil and salt as a medium. Because first the rice was cooked by his mother, but I think yesterday his mother died. So this day he cooked the rice with oil and salt for his mother. Yeah, as an offer. Okay.
Thank you.
It gives the idea about mother already has died. No?
Yeah. Because the last sentence said he set the bowl of rice. He made it and set it before his mother's grave.
Yeah.
Which, this when I first read this point, I feel very upset, very, very sad. It's this because the language here is very 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 ordinary word, but what it's expressed is very, very deep, because you use a very simple words, but express very deep feelings. Yeah.
Yeah. So because the 23 kinds 20, the first rasa 20 and the Alangara 20 and the Vastu 20, all the three kinds 20, by this point, we know, yeah. The emotion is level land. It is felt through the resonance of the image. The resonance is 20, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have one question.
Okay.
Yeah, you explained about the rasa dwani as a three steps, no? I don't know what is the rasa for the rasas 3 steps, and for the dwani another 3 steps, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you show that slide?
Which slide?
Which
Oh.
3 types of rasa. There's a 3 types of rasa.
Oh, 3 types of.
3 types of rasa, yeah. The slide A.
Oh, this one. I just see here. Yeah.
Yeah. This one. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And the first and the highest types is the rasa 20. Yeah, that's the emotion rasa has. Yeah. And the second alangara 20, a figure of speech. That's the middle. Yeah. And where what it suggests is a figure of speech, such as a metaphor, a similar, irony that is not stated but implied. The third type is vastu 20, where the station carries an ideal, a moral, or hidden message. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, it's so nice, and
Okay.
thank you very much for your.
Thank you, dear Pante. Okay. That's
So
one.
shall we move to the next one?
The next one.
Okay.
Next
I think it's
Lucio Queen.
yeah.
Good afternoon, Bante, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm still in the sadness just now. What is Kavya? Today we begin with the most fundamental question. What is Kavya? What do the ancient Indian theorists mean when they speak of poetry, and why does it matter? The next one. What does Kavya mean? The word Kavya derives from Kavi, which means a sheer poet, not simply someone who writes verse, but a visionary, a person who preserves truth at a deeper level than ordinary people. This is important. From the very beginning, Sanskrit poetic theory links poetry with insight, with a special kind of seeing. A Kavi does not just describe the world, he reveals it. The next one. Kavya is ordinary speech. To understand what Kavya is, it helps to see what is not. Ordinary speech is functional. It conveys information efficiently. The king looked at her face, tells us what happened. But Kavya transforms language into something more. The beads that were the king's eyes hid themselves in the lotus. That was her face. The subject is the same. The difference is entirely in how it is expressed. Through imagery, through metaphor, through an appeal to the imagination and the senses. The next one. How scholars defined Kavya. Over the centuries, many great scholars tried to define Kavya precisely. Pamaha, writing in the 7th century, gave us perhaps the most concise definition. Sabtatau, Sahitau, Kavyam. The poetry is word and meaning together. This sounds simple, but what he means is that both must be excellent and inseparable. Fine words with poor meaning. All good ideas expressed calmly do not constitute true poetry. Dandin added that poetry must be free from faults and adorned with excellence. Vamana, famous, declared Retail Adma Gavyasya. Style is the soul of poetry, and Mamata brought these ideas together in a comprehensive definition that adds the importance of figures of speech. We will return to each of these scholars in later lectures. The next one. The forms of Kavya. Kavya is not a single form. It encompasses a wide range of literary genres. The most prestigious is Mahakavya, the great epic poem, exemplified by the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Shorter lyric and narrative poems are called Khandakavya. Poetic prose falls under Gatyava-kavya, where mixed compositions of prose and verse are called Kampu-kavya. Closely related is Nadia, dramatic poetry. The subject of Bhagavatas, Natya Sastra. What all these forms share is a single purpose: to produce an aesthetic experience in a reader or listener. The next one. The origins of Sanskrit poetics. Where does Sanskrit poetics come from? The tradition offers a mythic answer. According to Raja Sekala's Kavya Mimamsa, Shiva himself is the first creator of Alamkara-shastra. The science of poetics, he revealed it to Brahma, who then transmitted it to sages, who in turn pass it down to poets. This is not merely a charming story. It tells us something important about how Indian culture understood poetic knowledge as sacred, as revealed as part of a cosmic order. The earliest systematic text we have is Bhagavatas Natya Shastra, composed somewhere between the 2nd century BCE and 2nd century CE. Next one. Vedic literature as the foundation of Kavya. But Kavya did not emerge from nothing. It grew directly out of the Vedic literary tradition, which is far older. Dialogue, song, music, and dance were already present in Vedic hymns, and crucially, the Rig Veda, the oldest of the 4 Vedas, already employs employs many of the devices that Sanskrit poetics or later systematized. Obama or Adisayotic, Anuprasa, or hyperbole, Anuprasa, or sound play. Let me give you an example. In Deva, we find a remarkable image. The two beautiful birds, inseparable companions, clinging to the same tree. Of the two, one is the sweet fruit, the other without eating, simply word judges. One word is the individual soul. The other is the supreme self. The tree is the body, and the word of samsara. This is not just philosophy. It is allegory. Adisayogdi, in its deepest sense, the seed of Kavya is already here in the Vedas. The next one, the four Vedas and the origins of poetic art. This connection between the Vedas and poetics is made explicit by Brahmadatta himself in Radyasastra, chapter 1, verse 17. He traced each element of dramatic and poetic art to one of the four Vedas. This is the remarkable claim. Poetry, drama, and aesthetics are no human inventions. They are an inheritance of the entire Vedic canon. Rasa, the century concept of Sanskrit aesthetics, is traced all the way back to Atharvaveda. Sanskrit poetic theory presents itself from its very foundation as a continuation of sacred knowledge. The next one. What makes Kavya different? The three levels. Classical theories identify three interrelated qualities that distinguish Kavya from ordinary language. Phrst, sabda, the word itself, its sound, its musicality, its phonetic beauty. Second, artha, meaning the depth and richness of what is communicated. And third, rasa, the aesthetic experience produced in a sensitive, cultivated reader or listener. What makes Kavya is extraordinary is that it must work on all three levels, simultaneously. A poem with beautiful sound but shallow meaning fails. A poem with deep meaning but clumsy expression fails. And a poem that produces no rasa has also failed in its purpose. The next one. The 8 theories of what makes Kavya great. Over many centuries, scholars debated a fundamental question: what is the soul of poetry? Is the single most essential qualities that makes Kavya what is. This debate produced 8 major theories. Palada said the soul is rasa, as an aesthetic emotion. Brahma, Maha, and Dandi argued it is alamkara, figures of speech and ornamentation. Vamana said it is really stale. Ananta Vadana proposed the Tvani suggestion, the meaning that resonates beyond the words. Kuntaka argued for vaglodity, applic expression. Dandian also emphasized the guna, the poetic is excellence. Che Mandra proposed on acutia property, and Mahimapata argued for inference and imagination. Each of these will be the subject of its own nature. The next one. Okay.
12 minutes completed. You have 3 minutes more.
Okay.
还有3分钟啊，
还有1分钟是吗？
还有3分钟，3分钟。
Okay. Why the next one? The purpose of Gavir. Why does Gavir exist at all? The tradition gives a clear and ambitious answer. Palada in states that Gavir gives dharma, rightness, outer-worldly benefit, karma pleasure, and moksha liberation. It teaches those who lack knowledge and brings delight to the learned. This is a remarkable claim about the purpose of art. Poetry is no decoration or entertainment. It is a vehicle for moral instruction, practical wisdom, pleasure, and ultimately spiritual liberation. The four blue shelters, the 4 great aims of human life, can all be achieved through Gavir. The next one, summary. Let us bring it all together. Gavir is the union of a beautiful word and beautiful meaning, rooted in a Vedic tradition and systemized by generations of Sanskrit theorists. It grew from the Rig Veda's hymns, where Simo, sound play, and song already flourished, and was later codified into the grand sense of Alamkara-sastra. It differs from ordinary speech, thorough ornamentation, depth, and emotion pearl. Its ultimate purpose is to produce rasa, an aesthetic and spiritual experience in the Sanskrit tradition. Poetry is not a luxury. It is a form of knowledge. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, you also prepared well and presented very.
I need some help. 蒋慧，你要帮我翻译啊。
OK，没问题。他表扬你说的很好。
Very good.
Yeah, and you presented the some definitions from the kavyas extracted from the Alankarikas, rhetoricians' works. What is the kavya? Shabdartha Saitam Kavyam, for example. And you presented some forms of kavyas like Mahakavya, Khanda Kavya, Gadya Kavya. Fourth one is not, the pronunciation is not Kambu, not Champu.
Jump 哦
Yeah, Champu.
他说你发音这个 jump 你再发一下。
the Ch.
这个4个
Jambu Gavir.
Jambu
Gavir.
Yeah.
Jambu Gavir.
Yeah. The Sanskrit pronunciation is Champu.
Right or wrong?
Not Kampu. You said kampu, not kampu. The
Oh.
correct pronunciation is
Yeah.
kampu.
Chambu, chambu,
Yeah.
chambu.
Just know you pronounce as English temple.
Oh.
It should be pronounced as Sanskrit or Bali. Champu Gabia.
混淆了。
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Others, if there are any comments or definitions or questions, you can ask.
No question. Thank you.
Okay.
So, shall I? Yes, now it's my turn. Oh,
Yeah. I have one question.
okay.
Can you explain what is the difference? How can we identify what is the poetic expressions and what is the ordinary speech? How can
对，
identify?
他说你怎么区分哪个是诗的语言，哪个是普通的语言？
你帮我翻译一下啊。Venerable, I need some help because my English is very poor.
你大概说一下。
诗就是语言比较简洁，然后意义比较深入。
你可以看，你看这里就有一个，你这里举了一个例子，你看到没有？
我这样表述太长了，他会好烦的。你帮我翻译嘛？
你怎么说？
就是语言比较简洁，但是意义比较深入。我的理解是，用很简洁的文字表达很深的意义。
So she thinks that the language of a poem may be very simple with very simple concise words, but with very deep meaning. That's rasa and dwanda. But 但是他的问题是你怎么区分？你从语言上怎么区分？就是说你怎么去区分一个是一首诗还是一个普通的语言？
最后那个课件有，最后那个课件，那当时。
Yeah. Okay. And also
this. Yeah. Indifference form. 你把这个读一遍。Indifference from ordinary speech.
Indifference from ordinary speech through
ornamentation,
depth and
depth.
Emotional power.
Yeah. Okay, it's okay, no problem. And there are two parts of the kavya, especially we can identify the kavyas prose and verse. The verses are naturally the we can find as a kavya, and process also we can identify kavya styles. I mean not the general sentences, but the process also the later rhetoricians composed as a kavya style. Both of those are the kavyas. Okay, it is I mentioned general. Yeah.
I do not understand what you said just now. Can you say again? Just now you said the two kinds of kavya. I cannot understand.
There are two kinds of kavya. Poetry and poetic. Poetry and prose. Poetry. I mean poetry. The verses like kavya styles, verses, shlokas, verses.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, naturally the kavya and process also kavya. Process means the not the natural sentences like we read some news and stories. They are the the descriptions, but some alankarikas composed process also Kavi styles, including the alankaras, similes,
Metaphor.
metaphors, including those alankaras. Some alankarikas composed process also Kavi style. I think you understood it, no?
So you are saying the language they use this different type of language. There's a different type of from the ordinary. Even it's in prose. It's even it's a prose. It's also Gavia language.
Yeah. We do not consider the newspaper report as a Kavya. They are just inform something, but including the alankaras explaining the alankaras, including it is the we can include as a kavyas. Both of those are poetry and prose are kavyas.
Whenever,
Yeah.
whenever, because you see, sometimes the poem they have a special formula, no? Don't have special formula. Don't have that special formula like you have the how many syllables inside one verse, right?
Yeah.
They have like that kind of formula. Because in Chinese poem, they also have some formula. They have the rhyme and the rhythm. They must follow the rhyme, right? Yang Jiang Hui, right? Yeah, I think that one also very important because that is they have because last time you taught us that they have this sound come out ma. Then every time they come out, they have some kind of pattern, right?
Yeah.
Some kind of formula.
Yeah. In Sanskrit also, so many formulas. You mean I think the meters? Hmm?
Yes, meter.
Yeah. In
That one
Sanskrit,
also very important for create as a poem, right?
Yeah. There is a special book called Vurta Ratnakar. It is the instruction book written in Sanskrit. Every composing meters explained that books, Vurta Ratnakar. That is the instruction book. That book explained how to use the meters for the composed process.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lakshya Queen, thank you for your presentation, and we can move the next one.
Okay, it's my turn.
Universalization.
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, dear Bandays and dear fellow classmates. So my topic is a theory of Sataranigarana in aesthetics experience. Actually, the Sataranigarana means universalization, as Dr. Chin has mentioned. Thank you. She has given a very good lot of knowledge that prepare for my this slides. So this theory is answering a question. When I watch a tragedy or read a poem about the complete stranger, why do I cry? So the India series to answer these questions. So the word Sataranigarana means we can break down it into two parts. The first one is Satarana. This means common, universal, shared. And Garana means the act of making. So altogether, this means making universal of emotion. So when we watch a tragedy or read a poem we feel the grief of someone we have never met. But why and how? And Satara Nigarana is a Sanskrit serious answer. So all it comes to from the problem, the question, why everybody emotion feels. So this is to understand why universalization is necessary. So we need to start from the obstacle. Abhinavagupta, the 10th century Kashmir philosopher who developed this theory most fully, he points out that ordinary emotion has three features that make it by itself impossible to share. First, the sviyada, that is the ego boundedness. That is my grief, my fear, it belongs to me. It's about my loss, my word. It's structurally self-referential, and it concerns all my word. The second is a practical urgency, the artagiriya garidwa. So everyday emotion pushes towards action, whether it's I shall run away, seek comfortable, fight back, or something like. But emotion is always in the service of something else. It's never self-sufficient. Third, the situational specificity. Every ordinary emotion pushes towards is anchored to a particular time and place and person. And you cannot truly enter it because your circumstances are different. So it cannot be truly shared. So these three features build a wall between his grief on the stage and me in the audience. That wall is what Sataranigarana tears down. So before Abhinavagupta, the theorist Bhattanayaka, he took the first very important step, and he observed that poetic language performs a special function he called pavana, and a productive transformation. And this function, the emotion in a poem, is stripped of its private ownership. It is being made available. Bhattanayaka didn't fully explain how this stripping works. Abhinavagupta will, but the key insight stands. Poetry and drama are not merely describing emotion. They are doing something. And Abhinavagupta inherits Bhattanayaka's insight, but he gives a far more detailed philosophical grounding. Abhinavagupta's deeper claim is his Apivyaktivada, the theory of manifestation. What he explained is rasa is not created by the poem or the play. It is revealed. The emotions exist in a latent form, stha-ipava, within every human heart. They accumulated through a lifetime of experience as vasana, that is the emotional memory. Through the three conditions, vipava, the excitant, anupava, the response, and the vyapyajaripava, the transient emotions. These latent emotions are manifested apivyakti as rasa in aesthetic experience. So this is why Sataranigarana is possible at all. Poetry and drama do not implement an emotion into the audience. They just illuminate what was already universally there. So we have to answer how it is from stha-ipava to rasa. We have to understand this is the central of Abhinavagupta's whole theory. So stha-ipava is the latent emotional capacity, and the rasa, these two are not the same thing. Stha-ipava is the emotional capacity stored as vasana, emotional memory. Rasa is that capacity once awakened, purified, and universalized. It's the actuality. So Sthayi is the latent, prepersonal, unfocused. Rasa is luminous, shared, self-sufficient. So the shift from latent to luminous is what Sataranigarana produces. The moment of its arising is called Jamatagara. This is a flash of wonder, a sudden luminosity in which the audience member is no longer quite I, yet the experience is more vivid than anything in ordinary life. So, Apivyaktivada and Sataranigarana, these two concepts, they work together as a single theory. Apivyaktivada answers, where does rasa comes from? The emotions lie latent in every human heart. The poem and the drama through Vipava, the excitant, and Anupava, response, and Vyapyajaripava, transient emotions, and Apivakti, manifests them. And Sataranigarana answers, how can a manifested emotion be shared by all? Because the latent emotion was never truly private. It is stored in a universal human emotional nature. The ego contraction merely made it feel private. So in short, Apivyaktivada is a theory of manifestation, is ontological premise. Sataranigarana, this is a theory of universalization, is the aesthetic result. So poetry and drama manifests what is already universally present, and in doing so, make it available to all. So we have to, that's the part that one of my most interested in Abhinavagupta's theory, because he has this philosophical background. He was also the greatest philosopher of Kashmir Shaivism. This philosophy, especially the Triga and the Pradhyapika schools, the central claim is ultimate reality is pure self-luminous consciousness, which is Jit, identified with Shiva. And individual consciousness is Shiva in the state of self-contraction, Anudva, obscured by Anavamala. This is the illusion of being a small, bounded self. So this is very similar to the Vedanta, because this Kashmir Shaivism is also a type of Vedanta. So the consequence for Abhinavagupta introduce this ascetics theory and into with this philosophical background. The consequence is that all individual emotions are contracted forms of a universal emotional capacity. So my grief and your grief are both expressions of the same cosmic sugar potential. Sataranigarana does not add universality. It removes the contraction. What remains is the emotion in its nature, open state. So I would like to have a more explanation of Abhinavagupta's philosophical background, because he connected the rasa and liberation. That is why where he created the ninth rasa, the Shanda rasa. Because Abhinavagupta names the joy of rasa as Brahma Shatlasya Shya Ananda, which means the bliss resembling that of Brahma. So this makes the ascetic rasa experience to the highest point, because it says like a Brahma. He chose Shatlasya. This word is not the same as Shamya. Shatlasya is a resemblance, and Shamya is identify. So this shows that he is very caution about the using the word, because rasa is not is just like liberation, but not liberation itself. So the difference of these two is that rasa is transient, and moksha, the liberation, is permanent. And to get rasa, it's need to the need to liberate. Rasa requires only shahadraya, cultivated ascetic sensibility, and moksha, it need to
Jian Kuai, you read the 12 minutes. You 3 minutes more. You have 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. So complete. Okay. And for liberation, they need to complete sadhana, the philosophical practice, to get moksha. So, but in both anudva, the ego contraction recedes, and jid, the consciousness recognizes its own nature. So poetry and drama, they are parallel paths towards liberation, but shorter, more limited, but the same kind of road. So who can experience? This is a sahladaya. The sahladaya is a person possess vasana, emotional memory, and through the vasana serves two functions, and it's the emotional reservoir, and then it trains the capacity to sustain universal emotion. But the process is spiral, and each genuine rasa experience deepens vasana, which enables the next deeper experience. So I would like to make a comparison between Buddhist Anusaya and Satarana Nigarana. In Theravada Buddhist, there's Anusaya, is underlying tendency of latent affliction, the lust, the aversion, delusion. They are laying dormant in the mind strip. They erupt into Vedikama, the transgressive defilements, and Pariyodhana, obsessive defilements, only when conditions converse. Sense object appears, attention fixed upon it, and the latent tendency breaks through into action. So this too, we can see there are some parallel structure. So, but in Buddhist, we use sati, mindfulness, and sampajanya, clear comprehension, to interrupt the chain before the anusaya eruption. So, as a summary, we can see Sataranikarana is a universalization, dissolve ego boundedness and practical urgency, allowing latent emotion, vipava, to surface, to manifest it as rasa. And Apivakivada use the vipava, anupava, vyapajaripava to manifest as a rasa in every halataya human mind. So Abhinavagupta's conclusion is rasa experience is like Brahma Shahdalashya Ananda, the bliss resembling liberation. And poetry and the drama are a parallel path, shorter, more accessible, but the same kind of road. That's all my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. And you also well prepared and included so many informations and clarifications also taken from the Buddhism also. And you compared with the philosophical ideas with Buddhist Buddhist ideas also. Yeah, that is good. And yeah, now if someone has some questions, comments, or some ideas, you can ask now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, last one. Buddhist partner Arusaya and Satarani Kanana. What's the same and difference between these two?
Yeah. You mean the the same? They have a similar structure, similar structure, because Anusaya is latent tendency of the defilements, and in Sataranikarana, it also said that the emotion, the rasa emotion, rasa, is also latent, and only with some outer conditions, the vipava, the anupava, those kind of things, they all work together to have the rasa to manifest it by itself. It seems like that in Anusaya, we will have we outside we have the object, and then we have our own attention, manasikara, to the object. Then that will make the Anusaya, the underlying tendency, to erupt into Vidikama, that is transgressive defilements, and Pariyudatana, the obsessive defilements. I think the working mechanism is almost the same. I think they are both of these two. They reflects the very very important theory, not theory, the facts, the truth is a dependent origination, which means Anusaya, when it's erupted, it needs the conditions. And also rasa as an experience, it also have a latency. We have that kind of latency capacity of that experience, but we also need conditions to make it manifested. So I think that's a similarity between these two.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
But I think the Arusaya sometimes only point the Kilesa. Right. Arusaya in the Buddhist system of theory only indicate the Kilesa.
Yeah.
But the Sattva Lalikana, sometimes good emotion, sometimes bad emotion, right?
Oh, yeah. But I just seeing that their mechanism is similar, not the not their not same thing. Yeah, they're not same thing, but they have. We can see they have a very almost the same mechanism to have that kind of things to be happen, but they are not same thing.
Okay.
Thank you for the questions. Yeah.
Yeah. I have some questions. How can we identify what are the qualities of the condition of sadharanikara.
You mean, and
How can we identify the condition of the sadharanikara?
identify the conditions.
Watching the drama and or reading the poetry.
I think that's the three things. Okay. So the conditions of Sataranika actually, if we say it in simple, it has 4 conditions, or 5 conditions. First, we must have the person who has a stavipava, who have a latent emotion. That's the first condition. Second condition is that this person, this mind, need to be trained by vanana. Vanana is kind of it's like a training of the. It uses a lot of vasana. The vasana is like a training to the mind, because when you every time you have a genuine rasa experience, it will depend on vasana. So vasana is like a gamma repertory. Each time you have that rasa experience, it will be stored in the vasana. So vasana is kind of a condition. It's a condition that will stored within the human being's mind, which has a latent emotion. So, which means he has that of conditions prepared more and more. This is the second condition. Then the third condition is vipava, that excitant. That in Buddhist we have the object, which is stimulus. And then we have the anupava. This is a response. Then we have a vyapyajaripava, the transit emotion. So all this together, the 3 together, they work on the stavipava, the mind. So then everything is ready. All the conditions are ready, so the rasa is manifested. So I think in simple, there's 5 conditions. Yeah.
Thank you for your explanation. And we can say, in generally, we forget our time, place, and individual.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, that's another. Yeah, and that's a general condition. Yeah. Thank you, Pandi. You give me a very good reminder.
You mentioned the sadharanikaras of the Bhattanayakas and Abhinavagupta's ideas. Is there any difference or similarities between those explanations according to you?
Which, sorry, I didn't catch you very clearly. You mean the 2 between the
2 persons' ideas about the sadharanikaran?
Between Abhinavagupta and
Bhattanayaka.
Bhattanayaka. Yeah. Here it says Bhattanayaka, he proposed a very important idea. He said pavana, to make it to be. But he thinks that the rasa is to produce. But Anunavagupta says it's not produced. Rasa is not produced, it's manifested. I think that this is the most important difference between the 2. But also, Abhinavagupta inherits some insight from Bhattanayaka, and he developed, using his philosophy background, developed the whole theory into a more workable and more mature theory. Yeah.
And also you explain the condition of the difference between the liberation and aesthetics experience.
Uh-huh.
Did you explain it based on the Abhinavagupta's ideas or generally?
This is, I
different.
think this is from Abhinavagupta's. Yeah.
Abhinavagupta's ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that is good having questions of the presentation, and we can move to the last.
Okay. Okay, I will stop sharing and I will give Lina.
Yes.
Yeah, I will give the host to her. Okay.
Let me share my screen. I don't know, I can't open my video, unfortunately. I tried for a long time now.
Okay.
I'm really sorry, Bante. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Your screen didn't open, I
Okay.
think. The video you didn't open, no? You didn't switch on.
Yeah, she said she
It
cannot
show-
open her
Yes.
video.
Yes.
Let me
It show
Okay,
you
how
didn't
about-
switch on the video.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
we
you can see
you. Yes. Okay, we can see your PPT. Without video is okay. No?
Is it moving? Can you see, is it moving?
Yes. We can see. Okay.
Okay, let me start. Venerable sirs and my dear friends, very good evening to all. So my presentation topic is 3 word powers, Abhida, Lakshana, Vyanjana. So as you may have already seen in the second presentation, the Venerable sir had mentioned about these 3 words. So let me give an extended explanation into what he actually had mentioned in his presentation. So my presentation outline is like follows. I give a brief introduction and then I directly move into talk about these 3 words and then give a conclusion. So for the introduction, I would like to say these 3 words simply means the 3 triple layers in words as in Indian linguistics. So why they are called 3 main powers? Because they are sort of 3 layers according to Indian linguistics, particularly in relation to poetry. So they are called Abhida Vyapara, Laksana Vyapara, and Vyanjana Vyapara. So Abhida means, in simple terms, it gives you a direct meaning. Lakshana is something beyond that. It's an implied meaning or sort of a secondary meaning or indication, or else indirect sort of expression. So Vyanjana is beyond these 2. So it's a completely different, it gives a complete different meaning or a suggested meaning. We will discuss them in more. So these 3 words help understand Sanskrit poetry deeply. As you may already know, Kavya Prakasha, the books like Kavya Prakasha and the other books that you already mentioned, they talk about these three words in a deep manner. So they are essential in literary theory. So they are foundation of rasa and dhvani concept. So let me ask you a question. So when you hear the word fire, what comes to your mind first? Can someone give me a reply? When you hear fire, what comes to your mind first? So what kind of, so whatever the feeling, emotion, or thoughts, do you have any idea? So what comes to your mind? It's basically, you know, heat, flame, combustion, right? So this is the sort of, you know, the imaginary feeling that you have inside your mind because you have seen flame. So that's what comes to your mind first. So let me ask another question. So what if someone texts you, this song is fire? So now you don't get that previous feeling, right? This song is fire. So it brings you a different feeling. So it basically means, you know, now it doesn't mean that the song is in fire, but you simply know, you don't think of anything burning, but you know, it's like a very good song. You like it. That's why you song it. You say it's in fire. So let me ask tell you another thing. If a poet writes, fire runs through her veins, it actually brings you to a whole nother mentality. Fire runs through her veins. So you kind of start to think in a deeply, a more rationalistic manner. Sometimes you like, you take a lot of time to get the idea. Fire runs through her veins. So these kinds of things normally uttered by poets, write by poets. So this has a very different meaning. So it's simply, let's say, it is something entirely is being communicated, which is different. It's like an inner intensity, passion, life force. But see the difference in these three stages, three levels. So the same word gives you three different sort of understanding. The first one is very simple, but the second one is very, you know, kind of suggestive secondary meaning. But still you can manage, you can like sort of guess what this means. But when it comes to the third stage, it's you need to have some sort of comprehensive ability in order to like get what this poet actually means. So these are three different registers of meaning from one single word. So this one single word take you to three different realms. That's the power of, you know, these three words. So let me explain the first one, the first word type, abhidha. Abhidha, as I mentioned earlier, is the first and the literal sense of word, the direct meaning that we get into our mind. First you hear something, the direct meaning, the superficial meaning. So when I say flower, you get you kind of get the you know, the image of a flower. So that's the first level of understanding. It's like the perception, the sort of perception that you perceive from your first experience, first kind of experience. So we normally use a lot of, you know, the abhidha sort of, you know, language, words in everyday use. For example, if I say moon, you get, you already know the moon. If I say sun, you already know the sun. So you have this whatever the knowledge that is already inculcated in your mind. So that's why that comes up without even thinking of a second time. So for example, when I say Ganga, you kind of get the feeling of river Ganga. And if I say Raja Gachati Palam Patati Ahang Nagare Vasan, you know that these are simple sentences built of words that you already know. You get the sort of the first kind of impression through this speech. So it's directly connected with this Abhida feature of these whatever the word layers. So this is the Vachya meaning or the literal meaning, the superficial, I would say, superficial meaning, which help you to build, the get the idea of the word. So the basic level, you at least, it is enough you to have the basic level of, understanding into the world, into get this Abhida knowledge. That's how, a baby, when he first, start to utter words, he kind of get to absorb these, the basic level of, words, understanding of words. So then if I talk about the second type, Lakshana, this is something that you have to second guess. It's the Lakshya, so the indicated meaning. So if you have some sense of like understanding into the world with the experience, you kind of get it easily. You will take time, but it's something that you can, if you have a general, knowledge about the world, if you are an ordinary human being, you kind of guess or catch what these Lakshana, the words of Lakshana indicate. So this is just the secondary meaning based on context, because when you are able to comprehend the context, you can get the contextual meaning. Otherwise, you don't get even the Lakshana, the what it actually means. So these kinds of words used to use when direct meaning doesn't fit. So let me give you some examples, then you will kind of understand what I mean. So Gangayam Goshaha. This is the most classical example that you find in Indian texts in order to explain about this the Lakshana. So it is the literal meaning of Gangayam Gosha is the cowherd villages in the Ganges. The Ganges mean the river Ganga. So the problem here is if you just focus on the meaning, the superficial meaning, it only means like a village, is in the Ganges, in the river. So it cannot be happen, right? A village cannot exist in a flowing river. So someone who, have the sort of general, the comprehension ability, he kind of get to know that what this means is the village is on the bank of the Ganges. So that's how, even when you are intellectually developed, you can guess that what this means is this. So even though the literal meaning is here, in this case, you have to see that the literal meaning is rejected, a related meaning is inferred. So this Lakshana category is something that you kind of absorb with, your, the experience, through your education, through your, experience with the society. So here, in this case, in Lakshana, what happened is you set aside the primary meaning. So you replaces it with something closely connected with it. And it is, so this is what illustrates as Lakshana. So
Lena,
if I give you another example.
12 minutes has reached and you have 3 minutes. Yeah.
So the stadium is clapping. So someone can, think that The literal meaning is building is clapping, but it's impossible, right? The people, actually what it means is the people in the stadium are clapping. So I have provided here some other examples, but I'm not going to explain this. I will explain what is the difference between Abhida through this example. Saila Nutyani Iva, the mountains dance. So in Abhida, mountains are dancing. That's impossible, right? But in Lakshana, you can see the tree branches on mountains are moving in wind. So this creates some sort of imagery. Let me give you introduction to the Vyanjana, the third category. It's the suggested meaning, indirect, or the hidden or suggest. You take to a whole different, aesthetic sort of mentality, emotions out of Vyanjana. So you have to have this kind of mental proliferation in you in order to, build up sort of Vyanjana sort of words. So it does not disturb primary meaning, but it depends on emotional experience and context. It take you to whole different, it doesn't disturb the primary meaning, but it's take you to a whole different world. It's not merely the meaning of a word. So I will give you this you can see this these images. This is the sort of simple the thing that I can show you. When it comes to Abhida, you kind of get experience through your all the 5 sensory organs. But in Lakshana, you need to have some sort of intellectual capacity to see this Lakshana level in words. And Vyanjana, it all almost connected with your heart and brain. So that's the power of these 3 words. So let me tell you another example, take you another example and put in these 3 categories. The breeze touches the moonlit lake. So it simply means in Abhida, a wind is physically touching a lake. Impossible, right? But in Lakshana, you see it nighttime. When you hear it, in Lakshana form, it's nighttime, and in Vyanjana, it means the suggested meaning is romantic serenity, gentle beauty of nature. So the same sentence you see through different forms of layers. So these are not isolated, but they operate in sequence in relation to one another. So in conclusion, I'd like to say these are multiple layers of meaning. These 3 powers enrich Sanskrit literature, and these are, of course, at the heart of Indian linguistic theories lies a sophisticated tripartite model. And together, these 3 functions explain how a word operates not just as a label, but as a living multidimensional vehicle of meaning. So it has a lot of a powerful message, through these 3 kinds of layers. You can enter into 3 different dimensions in Sanskrit poetry. That's, I think, what they actually indicate and specifically mention about these 3 types of layers in when it comes to words. So these are my references. Thank you for listening. I think my major focus was given to Kavya Prakasha of Mamata. This is a really nice book. I hope you will read it. And Anandavardhana's Dvannayaloka. It's also really interesting. And yes, thank you for listening. I'm sorry I didn't have much time to explain everything.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your presentation also. You also well prepared and presented very well, and have included some information in practically and explained all 3 word powers, Abhida, Lakshana, and Vyanjana. Okay, now it's time to discuss, and if you have any questions or ideas, comments, you can give now. No, any ideas? Comments?
Can you explain, Lina? Can you explain a little bit these three? What they are used in the Alankara and also in the Rasa Dwani, in this Sanskrit poetic of the series. What are the three located? What they are for, used for, and yeah.
So if you look at the Kavi Prakasha, I actually was able to go through several sections of the Kavi Prakasha. So in the 9th page, this is the reference that I actually went through. It's in the archive.com. So it was already discussed under the Dwanyaloka. So this is very much connected with the poetry, Sanskrit poetry. So you can see this is a sort of a collective, what we call these three cannot exist alone without the support of the first one, without having to know the meaning of the first, without knowing the Abhida, you cannot go to the Vyanjana to that extent. So that's why these three are different layers, but they are not just labels, but they are like the function of these three needs to be what we call amalgamated. Otherwise, the Vyanjana does not, you can't get that idea. So you need to have the understanding into Abhida and into Lakshana. It's the middle sort of knowledge, and the Vyanjana. So your Vyanjana, the extended, or else in our Buddhist context, we call mental proliferation, right? It's like Vyanjana comes with Prapancha. So the basic idea, you need to have the basic idea. For example, you need to know the sun, you need to know the moon, you need to know the features of them in order to build up this Vyanjana, the whatever the three, the Vyanjana, the suggestive meaning. Otherwise you can't get that idea. So that's why they are like these three work together. Otherwise, you can't get to that extent. I think that I think I address what you asked, right?
Okay, thank you. So, but for these three, where it has been used in the Sanskrit poetic series, where this
Vyanjana is everywhere. I think you don't find, when it comes to Sanskrit poetry, it's the Vyanjana is the very prominent thing. Not like the others are there too, but the Vyanjana. That's why Sanskrit is like it's not something that is very catchy to others. So it's almost filled with so many, the Vyanga, indirect, sort of, it brings this indirect or suggestive meanings that you need to have sort of, comprehensive ability to, get to know these things. When you read the Bhagavad Gita, when you read the Kavya Darsha, so that's why, that's why even that 9 kind of rasas are explained, I think, as I understand. Otherwise, if it just the Abhida, if it is just the Lakshana, it will only be like scientific research. It will only be something relevant to your perception, only perception, and you are, the intellectual, whatever something comes with your, brain, understand it. It will be very much scientific. But Vyanjana is of course, the heart of the literature. So when I say river, that's why when I say river, Vyanjana, the ability of Vyanjana is that it takes you to, the emotions like romance, it can be romance, it can be sadness, it can be, Shrungara, it can be whatever the ninth rasa that we call, that we just mentioned. So that only occur with the suggestive meaning. Otherwise it could be more like the very scientific sort of a study. You will end up like feeling this parable sort of a thing in the Lakshana stage, and the in Abhida stage you only stop by just seeing. There will be only seen. That's the the feature of Abhida. But Vyanjan, of course, it proliferates. It proliferates different things, which create the whole Sanskrit, which actually caused for the development of the entire Sanskrit literature. Yeah, that's I think, yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is there any suggestions? Yeah, I have some idea. There are three parts of the Dwani: Vastu Dwani, Alankara Dwani, and Rasa Dwani. And do you have any idea what is the relations between these three parts and these three, Abhida, Laksana, and Vyanjana?
I actually not yet Bhante, to be honest.
Yeah. Actually, for the Rasa Dwani and Vastu and Alankara Dwanis, we won't use three
I
days.
think there's this relationship, right?
Yeah, relationships.
We
need these three levels, Abhida, Laksana, and Vyanjana for Vastu and Alankara Dwani. How about the Rasa Dwani? Actually, we do not need Lakshana. Yeah, Abhida is enough sometimes for the Rasa Dwani. Yeah, if we get the experience of the Rasa Dwani, we enough for the Abhida, and directly we can get the experience of the Rasa Dwani.
So the Dwani is the much relevance to Vyanjana, Bhante, right?
Yeah.
So there's no any relationship to the each does not relate to each other.
Yeah.
So the what we call the rasa and the other one vastu are much relevance to Abhida. So Lakshana remain set aside, and the Vyanjana is relevance to Dwani.
Yeah. Abhida, the for Vastu Dwani and Alankara Dwani, we for the Vastu Dwani and Alankara Dwani directly need the Abhida, Laksana, and Vyanjana. But for the Rasa Dwani, we do not need these three levels. Abhida, Lakshana, and Vyanjana. Abhida is enough, and then we can get the idea of the Rasa Dwani, Vyanjana. Do you get that idea?
Explain a little bit. I didn't. I think I just confused.
Yeah. Um, yeah, yeah, okay, okay. It's good. Okay, thank you so much for your participation in the presentations, and we have discussed ideas, and you generally you will prepare for the presentations and ideas. Someone presented so many ideas taken from the other sources and other literatures, religions, other parts of the religions, and someone explained using the practically. Okay. Now it is time to conclude our presentation sessions. Do we have any ideas or
Andy, you're asking for some ideas for what?
some suggestions or ideas about the presentations?
Oh, suggestion. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, I think we're expecting from our suggestion from you. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, now we conclude our presentation sessions. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you, Bande.
Thank you.